Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be creating a couple cards using new supplies from Simon Says Stamp's latest release. This is one of the new products. This is the Folk Dance Stencil, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of glitter paste today. And I wasn't quite sure how these kind of white colored glitter paste would show up on black cardstock. So I thought I would do some swatching of the different colors just to see how they appear over black, because I kind of noticed when I've used them in the past, or this one's brand new, but these other ones I have used, that the color kind of shifts depending on the color underneath. So over black, I wanted to see what these colors would look like. Now, these first three glitter pastes are actually Cosmic Shimmer Paste, and I'm going to do a few more from that same line. I've got some Violet and some Ocean Spray. These are some other colors that are not that white color. I just thought they'd be really pretty with this color palette. And then I've got two colors from Bo Bunny. These are glitter paste from Bo Bunny. I have Turquoise and Caribbean. And I'm going to be using, I think I use all of these colors at some point. I don't know if I use Aurora Sparkle or not. I can't remember. But if you're looking for any of the specific colors that I use on today's stenciled pieces, these are the colors that I use. They'll be listed down below in the supply section, just like usual. So if you want to check those out, you can. So I put down a white non-stick slick matte. This is I think it's called the Easy Clean Matte from Tonic. Put that down on my surface, and then I taped down some black cardstock. This cardstock is cut to 6.5 by 6.5, and I did that because this stencil is 6 by 6, and I wanted to be able to have it go all the way to the edge in case I used up every single bit of this stencil, which I did. So I'm going to start out with this purple shade. And when I use shimmer paste or embossing paste or anything that I'm spreading over a stencil, I like to think of it almost like frosting a cake, or when you're spreading butter on a piece of bread. You want to be really gentle with it. You don't want to poke holes in that piece of bread. You want to be really gentle with it and hold your knife, your palette knife, at kind of flat, but a little bit of an angle. That's going to help spread all of that paste around, and it also prevents you from pushing the paste underneath areas of the stencil where you don't want it. This stencil in particular has some pretty intricate and detailed areas, and you want to make sure that your embossing paste doesn't kind of slide under or get pushed under those areas. So I'm moving on to this Caribbean color from Bo Bunny, and this might be one of my most favorite colors. It's so vibrant. It's almost like a really vibrant cyan blue color, maybe a little bit cooler than cyan, but I love it so much. I'm going to use the other color, this was turquoise. This one was called Turquoise. And I'm going to kind of spread this down. As I'm spreading these colors, I'm making sure that I never dip back into the jar without cleaning off my palette knife. I want to make sure that I'm not contaminating any of these jars of shimmer paste or glitter paste with a different color. So if you kind of spread this around and get colors on your palette knife, make sure to have a baby wipe or a cloth or something nearby that you can clean off your palette knife. I'm gently lifting up the stencil. You don't want to rip it off too much and possibly drop your stencil and mess up your hard work. So I'm going to use another stencil called the Square Dance stencil. This is from the previous release from Simon, and I'm using some black cardstock as well. And this time I'm going to be spreading the colors from the center of the stencil design. So I'm starting out with this kind of golden shimmery shade, and I'm going to put the other colors around it. And basically what I do is I place the colors all around the circle area, and then as I go to spread the colors out, I will always move my palette knife from the center, moving to the outer edge of the stencil. So as I'm putting all these colors down, I wanted to give you guys some other ideas on how you can use color with glitter paste or even embossing paste. I have quite a collection that I've amassed over the years of different colors of paste. And if you don't have a lot of colors, you don't have to You don't have to have them to create really colorful stenciled designs. You can dye your embossing paste or glimmer paste or shimmer paste with different mediums. You could put down some ink from an ink pad or use a re-inker. You might even be able to use watercolor as long as you give it some time to dry. You could use a bunch of different mediums. You could use alcohol inks, use some Copic, scribble some Copic out onto a slick surface and then add some paste on top. You just want to make sure that you really mix those embossing paste or glitter paste really well before you apply them to the surface of your project. And I've shown this technique where you dye your shimmer paste or your embossing paste with other colors. I've showed that in past videos, so I'll link to one of them up here in the top corner that you can check out if you're wondering about how you can do this kind of technique without having all these different colors of embossing or glimmer paste. So I'm finishing up this design here and making sure that I'm not spreading that purple down into the center area because I want it to only be on the outer edges. I'm going to add some purple to the bottom, and then like I've done before, I'm spreading from the center out to the edge, making sure I'm getting in all those little tiny crevices on this stencil design. So I'm going to peel up this stencil, and I love how this turned out. It's so pretty. Now to clean these stencils, I just used a nail brush, and I'll link to the nail brush down below, but it's really inexpensive, and I just take it to a sink with running water and use a little bit of gentle hand soap and then scrub it with that brush, and it gets all of that glitter paste off the stencil. So I let these dry overnight, and you'll notice that my fingernails are actually shorter now because I went to a swim class, and I go to swim class quite a bit, and it wreaks havoc on your nails, and I think 3 of my nails broke in a matter of 1 hour. So I had to redo my nails. So they're shorter now, but the same color of polish. I'm now using another die from the release, and I'm using it on that first glitter stencil, the glitter paste stencil piece that I did. And I'm using a piece of paper to protect my cutting plates in my Big Shot machine as I run this through. And that just helps the texture of the glitter paste from ruining my cutting pad. I'm going to use the Here For You die from the new release as well. And I'm going to cut this out 3 times because I'm going to adhere them together. Like I'm going to stack these die cuts so that it has a little bit more dimension. So I thought I was going to put this cut heart piece onto a white card base. And so this is how I did it. I actually cut out that area from where I die cut it, and I just use that as a guide for adhering these pieces onto the white cardstock. And I used a little bit of foam tape to do that. And then I can just kind of peel up this guide, and then I have my perfectly shaped heart. Now that at this point, I realized that the heart was a little bit crooked. So I was like looking at it kind of like, this looks funny. So in order to salvage it, because I did take all that time to get it on there just right, I decided to go ahead and trim it out, leaving a little bit of a white border around the outer edge. And I set that aside. I'll come back to it in a minute. I trimmed down the other glitter paste piece, and then I prepped the 2 card bases for my cards today. I'm using some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White in the 110-pound version, and I'm also using some black cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. So I took the full card front piece, put some Tombow Extreme adhesive on the back, which is a super strong adhesive, so this is going to work great for this, and then I just placed that down onto the white card front. To finish off this card, I used those white die cut words that I cut out earlier, and I stacked them all together using some Ranger Multimedia Matte Adhesive. Now, that adhesive I've just transferred into a Quilled Precision bottle, so it has a really fine tip on that bottle that just helps me put that adhesive exactly where I want it. And in between adhering each one of these words, I did put down a couple acrylic blocks over the top, and that just hold down those die cuts while they dry completely, because I wanted to make sure they were really pressed into all of that glitter so that they wouldn't peel up later. So I'm placing that last one on there, And that's going to finish that card. I kept this card super, super simple. All that glitter, I didn't want to cover it up. I put some foam adhesive on the back of my heart piece that I cut out earlier, and then I placed that down onto the front of this black card base. To finish it off, I'm going to take a stamp set from the release, and I'm going to stamp a greeting. I'm going to use this Happy Valentine's Day that's at the very bottom of this stamp set. There's so many cute images in this stamp set, but I'm just going to use a greeting today, and this is the Breakfast Buddies stamp set. Stamping the greeting in VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'm going to stamp the Happy Valentine's Day at the very bottom of this white cardstock. This is some more Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. This is the 80 pound version, so it's a little bit lighter weight, and I like to use that when I'm going to be cutting things out and layering things. So put a little bit of foam adhesive behind that, and then put it straight down onto the card front. In order to add a little bit of interest and bring more white to the outer edges of the card, I used a T-square ruler and a number 10 Jelly Roll white gel pen. This is the bold Jelly Roll. I put 2 dashed lines down at the bottom of that card. And I'm going to finish it off by rounding the corners with a We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. I just used the 1/2 inch rounder. And that finishes the 2 cards for today. There are lots of fun new products in the latest Simon release. I hope you guys will check that out. Make sure you check out the supply section below if you are interested in any of the products that you've seen in today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video very soon.